What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Harry the Horse Barbecue. I'm Harry, and today we are making the ultimate smoked roast beef sandwich. That's right, we're gonna dry brine a rump roast. We're gonna season it up with a classic barbecue rub with a little bit of a twist, slow smoke it off until it's a rare internal temperature, sear it off hot and fast, then we'll build this scratch-made sandwich with all the fixins. Need a cheap barbecue alternative for your next game day? The Horse has got your back. Let's get it.
Harry the Horse Barbecue.
Everyone loves a good roast beef sandwich. Roast beef is usually made with either the top round or the bottom round from the cow. The top round comes from the inner rear leg of the cow, so it's got a lot of connective tissue and very little marbling because of how much the muscles are working. The bottom round comes from the outer rear leg of the cow and comparatively has a little bit more fat to it, but overall not a lot of fat running through the meat because that muscle's doing a lot of work. Now the round section of the cow is part of the hind quarter and is home to a lot of lean, inexpensive cuts, including the bottom round. Once this cut is cooked to a beautiful rare, it can be sliced thin to be super tender on a sandwich, making it perfect for the ultimate roast beef sandwich. So in order to make this roast beef sandwich, we gotta go shopping for some meat, and let's go. Beef! Now I picked up this bottom round rump roast from my guys over at Marbled Meat Shop. Now anytime you're using the round portion of the cow, we know that meat is extremely lean. So if you can get some high quality bottom round from your local butcher, the intramuscular marbling is gonna be incredible, making this meat fattier, juicier, and more tender. So enough horsing around, let's get this bottom round out of the pack. Damn, that's a fine rump. Look at this intramuscular marbling from this meat from Marbled Meat Shop. I highly recommend locally sourcing your meat. If you ever had roast beef that tastes kind of off or really bland, one, that cut of meat is probably really cheap. And two, that person probably skipped the following step, which is to dry brine this rump roast. And potentially three, they didn't leave a nice fat cap on top of this bottom round. Holy cow. But when we get a little bit of seasoning on there, a little bit of smoke, sliced super thin, you're really gonna enjoy how that fat melts in your mouth when you bite into the sandwich. So we're gonna give her a flip around, and we're just gonna hit her with kosher salt. Give her a nice dry brine to help get some flavor deep within the roast, because this is a pretty thick roast after all. Definitely wanna get those sides in the process. Give her another flip around, spin around. And even though the fat on top is not gonna absorb the salt, there is some exposed meat, so we wanna get all the way around. And that's about all she wrote. All we gotta do now is wait. I'm actually not quite sure how long I'm gonna dry brine this for, but I'll let you know when I pull it back out. Okay, bye, see you tomorrow. It's the next morning and the birds are chirping. Let's check out this roast. So I elected to go overnight with our dry brine, but we can see the color has darkened up a little bit. So because bottom round can be so big, I would elect to go overnight with the dry brine. Now let's give this roast a little extra flavor. So we're gonna make a rub. So we're gonna go down with 1 part of that Pitmaster 16 mesh black pepper, half that granulated onion, half part granulated garlic. And every time I think of a roast, I'm thinking herbs. So I'm going down with a half a part of Italian herbs. Mix it up. And that's a beautiful rub. Now, because this roast has been sitting overnight, I am gonna go down with a little bit of avocado oil as a binder, just to help this rub stick a little bit better, and then on with our seasoning. And because we're gonna be cold smoking this, I'm not terribly worried about the herbs burning or anything like that. I wanna build up a little bit of bark, but essentially we wanna get some intense smoke flavor on this roast. Wanna get all the nooks and crannies. We'll give her a flip around. A little more avocado oil down on this fat cap, and one last hit from our seasoning. Man, she's looking good. Our roast is beautifully seasoned with that garlic, pepper, onion, and herb mix. That rub is gonna bring out some savoriness, a lot of herbiness when we slice it. That rub's gonna contribute a lot of good flavor to the overall sandwich flavor profile and leave us with beautifully seasoned meat on our sandwich. This rump roast is all seasoned up and it's ready for the cooker. So let's go fire up the cooker. Snake nests. Gonna need some hot coals for this cold smoke. Let's see what that gets us for this cold smoke. Sweet. Now this cooker is rocking at about 175 degrees because we want to cold smoke this bottom round. Now this isn't a traditional cold smoke, but we want to keep those temperatures low and smoky so that rump roast can pick up a ton of smoke flavor and we don't cook it too quickly. So enough horsing around, let's go grab that roast and get it on. Let's go. Some smoky bottom round for y'all. Up and under. Okay, this is the first cook on this newly cleaned pit. Go check out how I cleaned it. But we're going middle back of the cooker, something about like that. Now I am gonna add my ThermoWorks DOT internal probe thermometer into the meat, set to 110 degrees. Super cool that this is magnetic. All right, in the dead center. All right, we got this rump roast sitting in the middle of the cooker and it's gonna pick up some beautiful smoke flavor over the next couple of hours. Slow and smoky is our goal here today. So I've got the damper to the smokestack about 1/3 of the way closed, and we got our fire rocking to maintain anywhere between 175 and 200 degrees. But I'll check back in when this roast hits the desired internal temperature, and then we can sear it off for some final flavors. But all that's left to do now is close it down. Boom, shakalaka. Let's make some buns, hun. Little sip of coffee, warm milk, sugar, and our yeast. Let's mix her around a bit. About 5 minutes later, our yeast is blooming like the onion from Outback. So we're going in with flour, dough conditioner, milk powder, and salt, dough hook, cranker, and we'll start to knead and add our eggs. Let this knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. After kneading for about 2 minutes, we're going in with our softened butter now. Get up in there, as you were. She's looking pretty good. That's a sticky dough, but nice and soft and smooth. A couple slap and folds. Smooth and supple top. Greased bowl. Greased plastic wrap. And off this dough goes to rest for about the next 1.5 to 2 hours. All right, y'all, it's been anywhere between 3 and 4 hours since we put this roast on, and it's just about done. So let me update y'all with what I've been doing over the last 45 minutes to an hour or so. So I started to crank up the temps to around 250, trying to get it up to 275, 300. The reason I want to do that is because I want to start to get this griddle nice and hot so we can sear off this roast. And speaking of, our roast just hit 110 degrees. We were rocking that 175 to 200 for quite a bit of time. Let's pull this roast. So we'll take out this thermometer, and this bottom round has taken on a lot of good smoke flavor. Those herbs haven't really burned. Nice little crust forming on the outside. So we're gonna pop this roast onto a wire rack, and we're gonna let it rest. And in the meantime, we're gonna continue to get this grill hot and hit it with any remains I have from this Wagyu beef tallow. Beef has rested for about 15 minutes, going down. My goodness, she's looking good. We just seared that fat cap off, looking really nice. Now we're gonna sear the underside and hopefully all the sides to help build a nice little crust around this bad mamma jamma. All right, just a real quick sear on all sides. Use the donkey tongs, bring her over to the wire rack. Nicely done. Now we're gonna let her cool completely, chill her down. Let's check out this dough, yo. Wowza. I might have gotten a little overzealous with this dough, so we got some extra puffage. Sweet. We just want to degas it. And y'all know what's next. We're just going to cut this up into about 95-gram dough balls, put them on a sheet to rise again. Sweet. And we'll cover with a damp towel, and we'll let these dough balls go off to dreamy, dreamy land and let them rise for a little bit. And these beautiful buns are done. They roast for about 1.5 hours, hit them with an egg wash, baked them at 325, hit them with some melted butter. And we've got some amazing looking buns for this epic roast beef sandwich. The filming of this video got a little bit away from me, so I decided to remake the buns so they're super fresh. In the remake, I decided to make buns with everything bagel seasoning, sesame seeds, and have a few plain. Thank you for your time. Now let's make some pickled red onions. These are gonna be some really simple pickled red onions. Our brine starts with water and vinegar, some salt, and some sugar. Simply enough, this goes onto the stove. Here's the tricky part. Pickled red onions are Dunions. And this would not be an ultimate roast beef sandwich without a horseradish cream sauce made by the horse. You know we're making our own mayo for this. I guess this might be more of like a horseradish aioli. In with 1 egg, a clove of garlic that my brother grew. Check him out at Crop Chop and Grow. A little squeeze of Dijon. Half a lemon. I always get the juiciest lemons on this channel. I'm gonna go with a big scoop of prepared horseradish and a big old glug of avocado oil going in. Forgot to add a little pinch of kosher salt and some fresh cracked black pepper going in. I just gave this a taste and it is tasting ridiculous. Nice and creamy, garlicky, a hint of that lemon, and then you get that horseradish on that back end. Last thing we gotta do is slice up that roast. All right, got our roast on. Turn it on, and let's see what happens. These are the kind of slices we're getting. Look at that marbling, nice and paper thin. I'm gonna slice the rest of this up and then we'll build our sandwich. And here's our mountain of meat. I think to start, the roast was so big that I had to kind of cut with the grain. Still super edible, still super delicious. Then once the roast became a manageable size, I started to cut against the grain. Hopefully these slices will make for a better eating experience on the sandwich. Either way, I was snacking on this and it's ridiculous. Let's finally build this sandwich. First, our bun. I'm going with the everything bagel bun. Almost gonna mimic sort of that beef on weck sort of style. Shout out my guy Joe Z for the inspiration. Beautiful golden brown. Next up, a skosh of our horseradish aioli on that bottom bun. Slather me up, baby. Then we're going down with a few slices of this beautiful beef, and we are piling it high. Ooh. I don't know, should we go one more? Why not? Yeah, next a beautiful crisscross pattern of some Vermont sharp cheddar. For a little freshness, we're going down with some baby arugula, a handful of our pickled red onions. That is gorgeous. One more smattering of our luxurious horseradish aioli. And all we gotta do is crown this beauty. Oh my goodness! This roast beef sandwich is not horsing around. After days of work, it's finally time to dive into this beast of a sandwich. I mean, just take a looky-loo. Good Lord! Oh my gosh, I've been waiting so long for this. Oh my God. I gotta go back in for quality control. This is so incredibly good. Oh man. All right, here's the rundown. This bun is ridiculous. Adding the everything bagel seasoning on the outside adds a bunch of flavor and a little bit of saltiness to that bun. You bite on it and you immediately get that horseradish aioli. It is stupid good. That'll go on any sandwich. Then you get a mix of like that crunchy arugula, those crunchy pickled red onions. Then you get a little sharpness from that cheese, and that beef is ridiculously tender. So smoky, so fatty. I know I bit into this cross section, but oh man, this sandwich is not horsing around. This smoked roast beef sandwich is so good, I just can't stop. You beautiful beefy behemoth. You definitely don't miss the smoke flavor. It is right up front. That fat cap on that beef also adds some nice flavor to the sandwich. Hold your horses. This sandwich is ridiculous and relatively cheap. Game day is always filled with the same old foods that are usually pretty heavy. This is anything but. You can make these into mini slider buns and have amazing roast beef sliders for game day. Now, I cannot take full credit for the sandwich. This is highly inspired by my guys over at Marbled Meat Shop, so shout out to those guys. Okay, one more bite. Oh, this sandwich is so good, I just want to curl up and take a nap with it. This roast beef is making me want to go to sleep, so I'm gonna go to sleep and dream of some roasty beefy lyrics. Here we go. Whoa, I'm feeling roasty and toasty in this dream. Cool. I'm not quite sure what I could do with this beef, but hang on, hold up a second, yeah, just take a seat. Now I can hear your stomach rumbling, you want that roast beef. That sandwich was quite delicious, yeah, and oh so unique. Pickled onions, cheese, and buns, yeah, you cannot ignore. Oh my God, my mouth is drooling and I'm wanting some more. I'ma crack a blue so you can hit that sub button, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank y'all for tuning into Harry the Horse Barbecue. I really appreciate you checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Every subscription really helps me out. You know we got a beautiful herby crust on that roast, so go ahead and leave a like on this video. Leave a comment down below if you like this roast beef sandwich, and let me know if you've smoked roast beef before. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we're posting new content, and you can follow me on Instagram at Harry the Horse Barbecue. Tag me so I can see what y'all are cooking because it really inspires me to get outside and cook. And with that being said, there's only one more thing, y'all. This one is going straight to the horse's mouth. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.